My name is Henry. I buried my wife on a Wednesday. By Friday, the key to our safe was gone, and so was everything inside it. They told me not to worry, that it was all taken care of. But when you've been married to someone for 49 years, you know when something's wrong. Emily had promised me one thing. No matter what happens to me, Henry, our granddaughter Lily will always know the truth. But no truth came. No will, no letter, no sign that she had ever written down what we'd discussed so many nights in our little garden. I tried to ask Elise, my son Daniel's second wife, if she had seen anything. She smiled and touched my arm. There was no will, Dad. We looked. Maybe she never got around to writing it. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe that Emily, in her final days, had simply forgotten. But she didn't forget. Not Emily. What I didn't know then was that Elise had been in the house alone while I was still at the cemetery. What I didn't know was that she had used the spare key and taken everything. The will, Emily's letters, family heirlooms, even the ring she wore when we first met. I had never felt so out of place in my own home. After Emily died, Daniel insisted I stay with him and Elise. "You shouldn't be alone, Dad," he said, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. "We have the space. Lily would love it." And she did. Lily was the only warmth in that house. She would come home from school, throw her backpack down, and race to sit beside me on the porch swing. We'd talk for hours about birds, music, her mother. Her mother, gone too soon. But Elise, she had a different tone. "Henry, please use a coaster. Henry, could you not walk around barefoot? Henry, the laundry's not meant to be touched." I was a guest in my own blood's house. Still, I tried to keep peace. What choice did I have? One afternoon, while Lily was at school and Daniel at work, I searched for the only thing I still wanted: the will. Emily told me where she had hidden it. "I left it inside the blue photo album," she had whispered to me once. "Between our anniversary pictures. No one will touch that." But when I went to our old room now used for storage, the album was gone. I asked Elise, She stared blankly. "We donated a lot of old things, Henry. Maybe it got lost." She was calm, too calm. So I asked Daniel. "Dad," he said with a sigh, "please stop. You're making this harder than it already is." "But Emily left. She didn't leave anything. She didn't have time. You need to let this go." His voice was cold. And I realized something awful. They had convinced my own son that I was confused. Or worse, that I was old. Lily knew. She knew something wasn't right. One night when Elise had gone out with friends and Daniel was in the garage, she came into my room. "Did Grandma really not leave anything?" she asked softly. "No, sweetheart," I replied, tears welling up. "She did, but someone took it." She nodded slowly, and I saw it in her eyes, the same fire her mother used to have. "I believe you," she whispered. A week later, I overheard a conversation between Elise and one of her friends on the phone. She didn't know I was nearby. She laughed and said, "It's all locked up in the old house. No one will think to look there. Not even Daniel." Old house? We had a second property, in Willow Creek. Emily and I bought it decades ago. It was too far for us to visit often in our old age. Elise had the keys now. She had insisted Daniel put her name on everything when Emily got sick. I told Lily. and she did something I never expected. She skipped school. Lily took the early morning bus alone with just a backpack. She told her father she was at a friend's for a school project. She arrived in Willow Creek in the evening, the sun nearly gone. She found the spare key under the old flower pot, just like Grandma always kept it. The house was cold, dusty, but she wasn't scared. She searched every drawer, every shelf, until she found it. A steel cash box, locked, and next to it something worse. Emily's jewelry, tucked inside one of Elise's scarves. Lily didn't open the box. She took photos and brought them home. Lily came home late that night, pretending to be exhausted from studying. She slipped into my room and handed me her phone. Photos. Photos of Emily's brooch, her wedding earrings, the cash box I hadn't seen since before she passed. She whispered, "Grandma's handwriting is on the label." I held the phone tight. Tears filled my eyes, not from sadness, from clarity. I hadn't gone mad. I wasn't imagining things. Someone had buried Emily's last words, but now we had proof they existed. We sat together that night, Lily and I, beneath the dim lamp that buzzed slightly in the silence. She was clutching her knees, nervous, scared, but determined. I was trying to hold back the tide of emotions, rage, relief, sorrow. "She took it all, Grandpa," she said, "and she's pretending like nothing happened." I nodded slowly. "But if we go to the police now, it'll be our word against theirs. We need more." We didn't sleep much that night. The next day, Lily skipped school. Instead, she searched through every online database she could find, trying to learn more about wills, inheritance fraud, and how to legally fight back. I could barely keep up with her. She was like Emily, headstrong, clever, focused. That evening, she made a bold suggestion. "I'll go back, Grandpa. I'll go to that house again. But not to steal, to look for something more." I was hesitant, terrified, but I saw the fire in her eyes. She reminded me of a soldier heading into battle, too young, too pure, but carrying the weight of justice on her back. Lily returned to Willow Creek on a Saturday afternoon. Elise thought she was at a weekend retreat with classmates. Instead, she wore a cap, dark hoodie, and gloves. Maya, her friend, waited in the car with a walkie-talkie and a notepad. When Elise left the house to pick up groceries, Lily made her move. She entered through the kitchen door using a spare key Elise had hidden years ago under a potted plant. The house smelled different, like lemon cleaner and deception. Upstairs, in the attic, she found a trunk. Inside, Emily's journals, birthday cards, photos, the originals, not the ones Elise had shown me, and then a stack of envelopes, legal-looking. She took photos of each document, scanned every page, and then, her hand shaking, she found one more thing. A small red envelope. It had my name on it. She didn't open it. Not then. She simply pressed it to her chest and whispered, "We're bringing her voice back, Grandma." Back at home, we opened the red envelope together. Inside was a handwritten letter from Emily, dated 3 weeks before her death. She wrote, "Henry, if you're reading this, something has gone wrong. I've kept copies of everything. The originals are in the Willow Creek house. If you ever feel lost, find them, and trust Lily. She's your mirror and your shield." I cried. We read through everything Lily had photographed. a revised will, a letter to her attorney. Receipts showing Elise had paid off a mortgage using funds from an account Emily had closed. It was all there. But it still wasn't enough. We needed to expose Elise, publicly, permanently. That's when Lily had her boldest idea yet. Lily said, "We don't confront her. We let her show the world who she really is." She borrowed a discreet nanny cam from Maya's cousin. It looked like a USB charger. We placed it in the living room, near the liquor cabinet, Elise's favorite spot when she thought no one was watching. Days passed. Nothing. Then one afternoon, she invited her sister over. They poured wine, talked about travel, and then Elise said, "I can't believe Henry's still alive. If only Emily had gone first. Everything would have been so much easier. But now I have it all. Daniel doesn't even care what's his and what's not. He just signs what I put in front of him." That was it. The nail in the coffin. Lily transferred the footage. We had evidence. But we still didn't know if Elise had forged documents. We only had Emily's copies. That's when Lily brought up the Willow Creek storage unit. Elise had once bragged about keeping everything safe from storms and lawyers in that unit. It was under her maiden name. Lily, resourceful as ever, tracked down the facility. It was 200 miles away. She lied to Elise and Daniel, said she was going on a college tour with Maya. Instead, she drove to the city. Maya acted as lookout. Lily used bolt cutters to slip inside after finding the padlock key in Elise's jewelry box. Inside were filing cabinets, 3 boxes, and in one of them, the original will, the final notarized copy. We had it. We didn't go to the police. We went straight to court. Our lawyer, Mr. Abrams, submitted the will, the recordings, the photos, the letter from Emily. Elise denied everything, until the footage played, until the signature experts confirmed the forged documents, until Lily handed over the notarized will. The judge's voice echoed. "Mrs. Carter, you are under investigation for fraud, attempted estate theft, and perjury." Daniel stared at her in shock. He looked at me, then at Lily. I saw him shrink in that moment. He didn't lose a wife. He lost his illusions. Elise was sentenced to community service, fined heavily, and legally barred from accessing any part of my estate. She moved to another state and Daniel filed for divorce. But that didn't undo the damage. Trust, once shattered, doesn't heal in a day. Lily and I worked on it. Slowly. One morning we began cleaning out the attic. Dust-covered boxes, old photo albums, and forgotten letters. In one box we found an envelope labeled, "For Henry, Komsu." "When you're ready." It was in Emily's handwriting. Inside was a locket, with a photo of me, her, and Lily from the beach vacation years ago, and a small note. "This is what matters. Not money, not houses, not things, just us." I wept. And Lily didn't say a word. She just held my hand. Spring came. Lily and I planted roses, the kind Emily had loved, crimson and coral. Daniel started joining us in the yard. At first he barely said anything, but slowly he began to speak. About Mom, about the guilt, about the blind spots he carried for years. We didn't judge, we just listened. Sometimes healing sounds like digging in the dirt. Other times it's just sitting in silence, We put a small bench under the old maple tree, etched into the wood. For Emily, our roots, our peace. They tried to erase her. They tried to silence me. But love leaves a trail even thieves can't hide. My granddaughter followed it and found the truth. Not just about the money, not just about the will, but about who we are when we choose to protect each other. In the end, the most powerful legacy isn't what we leave behind. It's who we raise. Lily, she's the kind of girl who runs toward truth, even when it hurts. And me? I'm just an old man who got lucky enough to live long enough to witness that kind of love. I lost my wife. I nearly lost my home. But I never lost myself. Because someone believed in me. And maybe that's all any of us really need. Someone to believe in us when the rest of the world looks away. That is the story Emily would have wanted told.